Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Maddox Krugler of Grand Haven Boys Volleyball. How are you, Maddox?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Of course, it was announced just, I think, yesterday at time of recording that you are the player of the year for boys volleyball for the entire state. Obviously coming off, we'll get to recapping the season and the championship in just a moment, but obviously to get the most recent news out of the way. How exciting when you found out that you were named Player of the Year.
I was super excited. They surprised me at a girls' practice. The boys team was invited to play with the girls, and they just came out during some reps, and it was super surprising. Like I had no idea.
Yeah, for sure. This big year, this dream kind of season, for you, just for your entire program, because of course this is also the first year that boys volleyball is a MHSA sanctioned sport. So what was that? I mean, I obviously when Caleb was on here, I kind of asked him this, but did you really kind of see any big changes this year now that it's under this? But the certain expectations are obviously there, and obviously you guys have been doing it for a while. But now that were there any differences this season than previous years? Now that you guys are getting a wooden mitten at the end of the year. I know you obviously still competing for a championship, but now it's now under the MHSA banner.
Yeah, it felt like more organized than before, and also everything felt like it mattered more because in previous years it's like, oh, it's just a club sport, but this year it's like MHSA sport, so everything mattered extra.
Yeah, for sure. So, of course, going through the season like you did, when did you know that you guys could really do something special?
Before the season, we set goal expectations, and our first goal was to win a state championship, and then it was to go undefeated, and then win every point, win every set. Just trying to be the best team we could be.
Yeah. To know that, because I know you've put it, how long have you been playing volleyball for?
I've been playing since fifth grade, so about 6 years.
6 years. So,
Yeah.
what have you always just what have you always loved about it? Just what really got you into, the sport?
Well, my mom played in high school. She was all-state volleyball player outside. And we came to the beach in Grand Haven, and the next year was going to be the first year I was able to play. And so we were at the beach, and she just bought a beach volleyball and was like, "Hey, do you want to do this next year?" And just played on the beach a little bit and joined the team after that.
What, outside of, there were a lot of big moments. Obviously, we'll get to winning the championship in a minute, but what were some of the big things before the playoff run that really kind of stuck out for you? Like, hey, we maybe we got a shot at this thing.
Winning our home tournament meant a lot. We were undefeated up until the last game of the season. So we knew it was our tournament to lose. Caleb went out. We were really bummed about that, but then he came back for the playoff run, and we thought, we had it the whole season.
Yeah. For you, like, what were some of the biggest things that you wanted to work on this season to really help you, elevate your game a lot more?
Obviously, working on my vertical jump, working on that always. But I've been really trying to emphasize tooling, shots, tip shots, and off the block. But that's probably the biggest improvement from last year.
Yeah. To go on the playoff run that you guys did and to know that, there's never going to be another first time boys volleyball state champion. For you, like what was it about making that run to know that you're going to be that everyone had a shot to be the first ones and you guys were the first ones to ever do it? What was that like for you to accomplish that feat?
It was incredible. I just think I'm gonna sound so old when I tell my kids I was the first ever boys state champion or whatever because it's gonna sound so old.
Yeah. I mean, Caleb winning Mr. Volleyball, you winning Player of the Year. Can you, because I know that, obviously Caleb's family's had a big history in volleyball. Of course, yours does as well. What's that like to compete with them and to compete with all your teammates, really? Because there's a lot of very talented players on Grand Haven.
Yeah, I love playing with all the guys on Grand Haven. We try really hard every day at practice. Everyone really cares about the game. So I think that's why we were very successful. And I played club with a lot of the guys, so I've known them for like years.
So what made, I obviously know that what advantages that to have a Grand Haven because, you know, Grand Haven is a vacation spot, as many may know. What's that like to go out to the beaches, to play beach volleyball? What's that like for you?
I've been doing it ever since I moved here. So it's like a lot of fun. You get more touches. Every like young volleyball player like should absolutely play beach volleyball or like grass or something because it's like a lot more touches and you just improve your all around game like super fast.
Yeah. And to know that here's the other thing though too. I know obviously you guys do lose a lot from the 26th class, but you will be back, for your senior year. Going into what the summer is going to look like for you. And obviously we have a long way in toward the season, but as we all know, it'll be here before you know it. What is going to be this summer going to be like? And then you head into club season. What kind of just take me through what the next few months are going to be like before the season starts in the spring.
Well, I'm still on a club team right now. I joined the team out of Chicago and then so we just had a tournament this past weekend and then we'll be headed to Orlando to play at nationals. And then after that, just like training super hard. I've been going to Planet Fitness, so
Nice.
trying to, yeah. But our high school has a great gym, great facilities, so I'll try to get there as much as possible. Me and my friend Alfredo, he's on the team. He played right side. We try to get in the gym as much as possible, like throughout the whole year. So we're either lifting in the gym, we're either jump training, or we're just getting reps in.
Yeah. Um, and then really just like to know, looking back on all the accomplishments you've had, and obviously you've accomplished quite a bit during your time. Um, are you amazed by like what you've been able to accomplish so far? I know you still have a long way to go. But is it, have you had the chance to reflect back on all the things that you've been able to do?
It's been going really fast. I haven't really thought about it, but yeah, it is kind of like amazing that we won a state championship, like the first ever team to win a state championship. And it's our first year actually winning the state championship.
Yeah.
Like it's just incredible.
Yeah. So, to compete at this and because obviously I know that you also, obviously I know you want to continue this as long as you can. What is next, as you try to also search for where your next home is going to be? Like in terms of like, because I know, have you started thinking about that or no?
Yeah, I've been emailing a lot of colleges. I have a couple offers, but like nothing I'm like super like attached to right now. So yeah, I'm
It's
just
early on in the process, but
yeah.
so
I've been getting clips. My dad's really good at recording our games for club, especially. And I just posted a YouTube video, so I'm gonna send that to a bunch of coaches, and yeah, just send it to everyone.
absolutely. And then finally, what do we got coming up for the rest of the club season? How are you guys doing right now as you guys prepare for nationals?
We're doing really well. We're competing in 17 Open right now. We could just finish fifth in a big Chicago tournament, so hopefully we make a deep run in the nationals.
Absolutely. Well, I know obviously you're pretty busy, but I want to thank you for taking the time to do this. And
So
best of luck the next couple weeks. Congratulations on winning the state championship. Congrats on Player of the Year as well.
thank
And we'll
you.
talk to you soon.